You, sir. Namaskar. We are also being joined by Dr. B. Narayanan, Secretary, Department of Space, Chairman, Space Commission and Chairman, ISRO, and Dr. Pavan Goenka, Chairman, InSpace. A very warm welcome to the esteemed dignitaries. May I once again request everyone in this plenary hall to please ensure that their mobile phones are on silent. I thank you very much for your kind cooperation. So good morning once again, ladies and gentlemen. I extend a warm welcome to the distinguished dignitaries, esteemed delegates, and our valued guests. It is a matter of immense pride and privilege to welcome you all to the inaugural session of National Meet 2025, or National Meet 2.0. This gathering is a landmark occasion organized exactly a decade after the first National Meet of 2015, where we envisioned how space technology could transform governance and development. Over the past 10 years, India's space program has achieved extraordinary milestones. National Meet 2.0 is both a celebration of this progress and a commitment to the future. It marks the culmination of months of deliberations and inclusive interactions with stakeholders since May of 2025, and more importantly, the beginning of a renewed journey, harnessing the power of space technology as we march towards Viksit Bharat 2047 under the visionary leadership of the Prime Minister of India. To commence the proceedings, ladies and gentlemen, of this inaugural session, it is now my honor to invite our esteemed dignitaries to the dais. May I invite our Honorable Chief Guest, Honorable Member Niti Aayog, Dr. V.K. Saraswat, a luminary whose pioneering work in defense research and missile development has shaped India's strategic strength. Let's welcome him to the dais, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to you, sir. We are being joined on the dais by Dr. V. Narayanan, Secretary, Department of Space and Chairman, Space Commission and Chairman, ISRO, whose visionary leadership is steering India's space program into a new era of excellence. Let's welcome him. And may I also invite Dr. Pavan Goenka, Chairman, InSpace, a champion of private sector participation, catalyzing collaboration and innovation across India's expanding space ecosystem. Ladies and gentlemen, with a rousing round of applause, let's welcome our Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. V.K. Saraswat, and our esteemed dignitaries. Now, in keeping with Indian tradition, we will begin with the ceremonial lighting of the lamp, ladies and gentlemen. And as we all know, this act signifies the dispelling of darkness and the ushering in of knowledge, wisdom, and prosperity. I'm now going to be requesting our dignitaries on stage to kindly light the lamp, marking the auspicious beginning of National Meet 2.0. And I also request the Chairman of Program Management Councils to please join us on stage, join the dignitaries in the lighting of the lamp ceremony. I thank you very much. May I invite the Chairman of Program Management Councils, please. I request the dignitaries to also give us a photo opportunity with the lamp. Thank you very much, esteemed dignitaries. Shubham karoti kalyanam arogyam dhanasampada shatru buddhi vinashaya deepajyotir namostute, which translates to, we pray to you, O Lord of Light, the giver of abundance, prosperity, good health, and joy, and the destroyer of an inimical mind. I thank the esteemed dignitaries for doing the honors and lighting the lamp. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to set the tone for the day and extend a formal welcome, I invite Shri Ganesh Pillai, Scientific Secretary, ISRO. Shri Pillai has been closely guiding the planning and coordination of National Meet 2.0, ensuring that this consultation reflects both the spirit of collaboration and the ambition of our space community. Sir, may I request you to kindly brief us on the National Meet 2025 and deliver the welcome address. Please welcome Shri Ganesh Pillai, ladies and gentlemen, Scientific Secretary, ISRO.
Thank you. Very good morning. Respected Dr. V.K. Saraswat, Member Niti Aayog, Chairman ISRO, Secretary DOS, Dr. V. Narayanan, Chairman InSpace, Dr. Pawan Kumar Goenka, dignitaries present, our secretaries to the central ministries and departments, chief secretaries of states, directors of all ISRO centers and colleagues from DOS and ISRO, senior officials from ministries and state government, representatives from industry, friends from media, ladies and gentlemen, very good morning. It is my profound honor and privilege to welcome you all to the National Meet 2.0 on leveraging space technology and application for Viksit Bharat 2047. It is an occasion bringing the visionaries, practitioners and beneficiaries of Indian space program under one roof. As we recollect, it has been 10 years since the National Meet 2015, wherein we embarked on a journey that transformed space application in India. It was our endeavor to bridge the gap between the user demand and the planned missions. Space technology has progressively been permeating into the operational regime of the stakeholders. The outcome has been tremendous, with space input transforming decision-making through data-driven, timely, accelerated, and participatory approach. Today, we meet in a vastly changed scenario. The Indian Space Policy 2023 affected the space sector reforms and opened new doors for private participation, innovation, and entrepreneurship. Against this backdrop, the organization of National Meet 2.0 serves a vital purpose. It is a forum to look forward to the future, to identify emerging needs, design targeted solutions, and strengthen partnership across government, industry, and academia. The agenda before us is ambitious, but so is our vision, Viksit Bharat 2047. A developed India will require not just economic growth, but smarter governance, resilient infrastructure, sustainable use of resources, and citizen services of the highest quality. Space technology will be central to achieving these goals with the wholehearted support and effort of all the central ministries, state governments, and union territories. We could conduct extensive consultation. We could consult extensive consultation to identify the future requirements of space-based inputs, applications, and services. During the next hours, the outcome of these interactions will be presented by all the stakeholders in multiple parallel running sessions. We will also hear from the industry partners on their strategy for a greater role in the future space arena. And towards the end, in the concluding session, all the stakeholders will express their views on the way space technology would support the vision for Viksit Bharat 2047 in reference to their respective domains. Coming to my role as for welcoming, we are deeply honored by the gracious presence of our guest of honor, Honorable Dr. V.K. Saraswat, whose unwavering guidance and support have been instrumental in advancing India's space program towards national priorities and global leadership. Welcome you, sir. We are privileged to have with us Dr. V. Narayanan, who steers the Department of Space and Space Commission with vision and foresight, ensuring that our space endeavors aligns with national aspirations and technological frontiers. Welcome, sir. We are equally delighted to welcome Dr. Pawan Goenka, sir, whose leadership of InSpace has opened new dimensions for private sector participation, fostering innovation, and expanding the Indian space ecosystem. Welcome, sir. I also welcome secretaries of ministries, chief secretaries of state to this function. Welcome. I extend my warmest welcome to all the senior officials of central ministries, states, and union territories, especially those who have traveled long distance to be here. I also welcome directors of ISRO centers and autonomous bodies under DOS, officials from ISRO, DOS, InSpace, NSIL, and IAST. I take this opportunity to welcome our friends from industry and media. Your expertise, your insight, and your willingness to collaborate will determine the success of this meet Let us approach National Meet 2.0 with open mind and shared commitment to action. Let it be remembered not just for the discussion we hold, but for the partnership we forge and the outcomes we achieve. On behalf of organizing committee, I welcome you all once again, and I wish our deliberations over the coming days great success. Jai Hind. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, sir, for establishing the context of National Meet 2.0, reminding us that space technology is not just an enabler, but the very engine driving Viksit Bharat 2047. Thank you once again for rendering the warm welcome address. Ladies and gentlemen, seated on the dais, we have Dr. Pavan Goenka, Chairman in Space. And Dr. Goenka has been pivotal in building strong bridges between ISRO and India's private sector, creating an enabling ecosystem where innovation thrives and where India's space story becomes a shared national endeavor. Sir, we now look forward to your address. It is my privilege to invite you to the podium. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Dr. Pavan Goenka, Chairman in Space.
Dr. V. Saraswat, Member Niti Aayog, Secretary DOS and Chairman ISRO, Dr. V. Narayanan, other dignitaries, secretaries from Government of India, senior officers, my colleagues from ISRO and InSpace, members of space sector industry, and the students who are present here. Very good morning to you. Starting on a lighter note, Dr. Saraswat connects my past to my present, because he was very actively engaged with the automotive industry and now the space sector. So he is my connection to the two sectors. We gathered here for National Meet 2.0. This is a very simple name given to an extraordinary initiative that has been taken up by ISRO. It has a potential to provide a big boost to the space reforms that are put in place. And the sole purpose is to explore how space technology can directly serve governance, development, and the people of India, and have a huge socio-economic impact on the country. This was not a theoretical conference. It was a hands-on problem-solving exercise that has been undertaken over the last 3-4 months. The experts sat with ministries, departments, state governments to define requirements, identify use cases with an intent to co-create, find solutions using space applications. And this clearly is a whole of a government, a whole of nation effort that is bringing space closer to the grassroots of governance. Now, as I was stated in the morning, in the beginning, the similar exercise was done 10 years ago. And a lot of use cases came out of that. And a lot of it was worked upon. But there's a big difference between 10 years ago and today. Number one, of course, our knowledge of space technology has progressed a lot. But more importantly, at that time, there was hardly any private sector in space. Today, we have a thriving private sector that is very closely engaged with everything that is happening in space. So to carry out such a vast and complex consultation seamlessly and in record time, just about 3 months, was not a small feat. And my compliments go to Chairman ISRO for conceiving the idea and for leading it from the front, and to the ISRO team, who with passion and efficiency ensured this exercise was completed within tight timelines. And across the major thematic groups, hundreds of use cases identified, from precision agriculture and livestock insurance to urban planning, renewable energy, deployment, disaster management, education, and tribal welfare. Now, why is it important? First, it will increase adoption of space applications across governance and service delivery. Right now, government is the primary user of space applications, and as this takes shape and gathers speed, I'm sure private sector will also come forward as user of a space application. Second, it will generate demand for space-based data and services, something that will strengthen India's goal of Viksit Bharat 2047. And that will create demand for upstream activity and thus create a virtuous cycle in the space sector. And this is a massive opportunity for private space companies to step in and serve the needs of government departments. Now, Chairman ISRO has mentioned to me several times that he would like very much to partner with private sector as we move forward implementing the use cases that come out. And I have two messages, one for the government departments, the secretaries and other senior officers who are present here. I urge you to be open and confident in engaging with the private sector. In some of my discussions, it has been indicated that you cannot really have confidence that private sector can deliver. I urge you to give them a chance, and I'm sure they will live up to your expectation. And second, to the private sector. This is not just a business opportunity, but a national mission to deliver reliable, cost-effective, and scalable solutions that will transform governance. But do not take this opportunity as granted. You will have to deserve your right to be in this space. You have to generate your credentials and convince all the users that you have what it takes to be able to come up with very good applications, and that will serve the purpose. NM 2.0 has shown us that if we work together, ISRO, InSpace, central and state government, private sector, we can reimagine governance for the 21st century for students here today. And for students here today, this is the future you will be part of, where space technology is not distant, but a daily enabler of better lives. I thank every ministry, state governments, ISRO, InSpace colleagues, and private sector parameters who have contributed. I personally participated in some of these discussions and was very, very enthused with the kind of energy that I saw in that. And together, we'll make sure that the power of space reaches every farmer, every student, every community, and help build a stronger, more resilient, and more prosperous Bharat. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, Dr. Goenka, for your inspiring words, for encouraging us all and underlining the vital role of collaboration. Thank you very much for reminding us that National Meet 2.0 has shown the way forward and is showing the way forward through working together to harness space technology for India's progress. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I now have the privilege of talking very briefly about Dr. V. Narayanan, Secretary, Department of Space, Chairman, Space Commission, and Chairman, ISRO. Under his visionary leadership, India's space program has scaled new heights in research, innovation, and applications. His guidance has been central to the conception and realization of National Meet 2.0. And sir, we now request you to please address this gathering. Ladies and gentlemen, he's going to make the presidential address. Let us welcome Dr. V. Narayanan, Secretary, Department of Space, Chairman, Space Commission, and Chairman, ISRO.
Very, very good morning to all of you. Namaskar. Most respected Dr. V.K. Saraswat, Member Niti Aayog, Chairman InSpace, Dr. Pawan Kumar Goenka, very respectable secretaries to the central ministries and departments who are participating in this very, very important event, chief secretaries of states, directors of all ISRO centers and units. One of the very senior director, Prakash Chavan, who has put a lot of effort for bringing this National Meet 2 to the present stature. Senior officials from ministries and state governments, representatives from industry and academia, friends from media, ladies and gentlemen. Let me formally welcome all of you for this National Meet 2. It is with great pride and deep sense of responsibility that I stand before all of you on this important inaugural function of the National Meet 2, deliberating the use of space technology for development and governance. It is an important milestone in our journey for bringing space application to the grassroots. If you look at the Indian space program, just 50 years back, it was 1st August 1975, first time, through keeping 2,400 television sets in 6 states, in 2,400 villages for the first time, The space application was just demonstrated by sending a communication data from ATS-6 satellite. And we demonstrated for the first time mass communication is possible through the satellite technology and space program. From that beginning, next milestone was 1970. For the first time, the remote sensing application was demonstrated to this country by the great scientist Visarati. And from then to now, during last 50 years, the journey was an excellent and outstanding journey. Today, there are 55 space applications. Television broadcasting, telecommunication, telemedicine, weather forecasting, ensuring food security for the citizens of this country, ensuring water security, ensuring safety and security of every citizen of Bharat through whatever way satellite can do, disaster warning and mitigation, and connecting 8,700 trains in real time, potential fishery zone monitoring. And when you look at disaster warning and mitigation, it's a great application. There was a time, you all know, when there was a disaster in Orissa, 10,000 of our citizens we lost. And from that, today we have come a long way. And lot of application, lot of service. And in a lighter vein, if we have to talk about telecommunication application, 40 years back, if you had to make a phone call from other part of the country to Delhi, what was the difficulty? Somebody has to go to trunk booth and wait. In fact, we never had the opportunity to even to make a phone call to Delhi. Even making a call from Kanyakumari to Chennai itself, it was a nightmare. And you take television broadcasting. You all know there was a program called Chitrakar, 35 years back. Hardly 5 songs per week you can see. Once you miss, you have to wait for a week. And today, lot of applications. And giving app support to fisherman who is going to ocean for catching fish, identifying their own location, whether they are inside our border or they have crossed, everything is informed in local language. And lot of applications. And today, we are addressing National Meet 2 to understand, appreciate which direction we have to move. And I'm extremely happy that today we have got Dr. V.K. Saraswat is gracing this function as the chief guest. I am so happy that he is here. He is an accomplished technocrat. And when the country got independence, there was no missile in the part of the country. Today, we are so honored to have the present chairman, DRDO, with us. And of course, Saraswatji has done a lot of contribution today to ensure the safety of the country. We are having a lot of development in the defense sector. He is one of the person who have given a lot of contribution. Also, I am very happy that we both are from the same community, the liquid propulsion community. So whenever I talk something, very difficult to communicate everything to somebody, but in few minutes, when he talks, he understands everything. That is also good for me. Sometimes that is also a problem for me, because he asks a lot of questions, a lot of clarifications. But doesn't matter. We are from the same field. Even recently when Suklaji, that Falcon rocket, there was an issue, he made a phone call. And in 5 minutes, he could understand the entire thing. Before I explained half of the story, he was explaining the remaining story back. Probably this is the thing. And that is the type of personality who we have. Sir, we are so privileged to have you for this inaugural function. Let us give a big hand to that great son of soil, Saraswatji. Then we have got Pavan Goyanga ji with us. And a person, a automobile, my elective subject is automobile technology. So there we have got some connectivity. To be honest and frank, when he took over as the in-space chairman, I was thinking how he is going to understand the space system. But to all of our surprise, he made surprise to all of us. Within few months, he understood the entire game. And today, he is one of the person who can talk on application, who can talk on satellite, who can talk on how the private ecosystem should contribute. Sir, thanks for you, for your very short time gaining knowledge and contributing for the space sector. Dear friends, today we are all here. after accomplishing a great mission. 1963, November 21st was the first beginning of the rocket launch in India. It is the sounding rocket. That rocket was donated by USAT. And then the sodium vapor lamp came from France, and our people assembled in the church building in Thiruvananthapuram, and that took off. And 50 years back, when we were looking for a satellite, we were not having satellite technology at that point of time, no signals. And of course, there was space, but the space program was in the very, very preliminary stage. And when we wanted a satellite signal, it was again given by USA. Please understand, 1969, August 15, when ISRO was formed, we were just 60 years behind the advanced countries. From that, last month, June 30th, the NISR, NASA, ISRO synthetic aperture radar satellite, a costly satellite ever realized in the world. And one of the important payload from USA, JPL USA, and another payload from ISRO. The entire satellite is built by ISRO and launched using our own rocket precisely in the orbit. And we are rubbing shoulder to shoulder to developed spacefaring nations. I think I am meeting all of you after that important thing. In fact, 2 days back, we have the 12-meter antenna was totally unfurled in the space. And right now we are checking the data of satellites. Let us give you a big hand to all the people who have contributed for the great mission. And a country which started the space program by moving the rockets in bicycles, we have come a long way. This year, January 29th, we had the 100th launch. In fact, first launch was in the year 1979. It was a partial successful launch. And second launch only was perfect success. The project director was none other than APJ Abdul Kalam ji, under the leadership of Professor Satish Dhawan as the chairman. That mission was accomplished. And a 35 kg satellite was placed in the orbit. From that humble beginning, this year, the 100th launch, we were very particular to get that grand success. And January 29th, we had successfully launched the 100th rocket from spaceport of India, Sriharikota, and we have written in the golden letters, the 100th launch was a grand successful mission. And we have done the docking experiment on January 16. Please understand, 2 cars are moving in Delhi road with 100 km/h speed. And you have to connect softly and connect without stopping. What type of difficulty it is? 2 satellites rotating with 28,400 km/h, absolute velocity, of course, relative velocity was less, using a set of hardware, software, camera, propulsion system, successfully docking in the space. And India becoming one among 4 countries accomplishing that this year. And we are having a vibrant space program. And sending Sukraji to space. And we have sent safely based on the vision and direction of Honorable Prime Minister. He was successfully sent to space. And in that success, Indian education system really contributed in stopping in the appropriate time the leakage related problem in the rocket. It was stopped, and finally ISRO could contribute for the safe launch of Falcon rocket, taking 4 astronauts to the space. And really, today we have come a long way. And there are a lot of applications. Currently, there are 55 satellites in the orbit and serving the common man of the country. Another 3 years, the number based on the direction guideline of Prime Minister of India, it is going to become 3 times. Dear friends, it was almost 9 years back, 10 years back, 2015. After Honorable Prime Minister took over as the Prime Minister of India in 2014, we had the first national meet. On this occasion, I should remember the contribution by then Chairman, Kiran Kumar sir, and the entire leadership. They did a great job rolling out the National Meet 1, and Honorable Prime Minister himself was there. Let us give a big hand to Mr. Kiran Kumar and the entire leadership at that point of time for that National Meet. And during that time, we have launched and operationalized, after that, based on that direction, lot of key satellites like INSAT 3DR, INSAT 3DS for weather services, SCATSat 1, OceanSat 3 for ocean observations, CARTO 3, ResourceSat 2, RISat 1A. When you talk about this type of satellites, our optical payload capability when we started 50 years back, 76-meter resolution. Initially started with 1 kilometer resolution and 76-meter resolution. Today, The best camera available in the moon orbit belongs to India, on-orbit high-resolution camera, which is just 32 centimeter resolution. What is a great and growth. And on this occasion, on the National Meet 2, I have to really thank a lot of people. The Cabinet Secretary, Dr. T.V. Somanathan, one of the outstanding administrator. He who really advised, and he only wrote the letter to all the chief secretaries and secretaries. So let us give a big hand to our Cabinet Secretary, Dr. T.V. Somanathan, for his direction and guideline. Most importantly, Honorable Prime Minister, always he is with us. It is his vision, his direction, this National Meet 2 was organized. Within 5 months, please understand, 300 meetings were conducted. 8 regional meet and 2 state level meet. I myself could meet at least 6 chief ministers of the country and 10 secretaries of Government of India. And the team led by Prakash Chauhan and Mr. Thomas. In fact, these are the 2 people probably I have used sometimes very tough language to push the program. And really they have done outstanding job. So let us give a big hand to both them and the team members. Against this backdrop, I have to thank all the state governments, all the chief secretaries of state government, all the 63 department secretaries who are using space data for coming forward and giving the requirement documents. I think it was mind-boggling when I was in UP, the requirement document submitted was 300-page requirement document. Assam, similar document. And now everything is brought to a uniform level and we are going to roll out the further plans. Against this backdrop, we are all meeting for the inaugural function and we have to ensure continuity with improvement, ensuring our operational application are more accurate, more frequent and more responsive to the users. And capability augmentation is required through new instruments, autonomous constellations and integrated systems, capacity building and institutionalization. When we rolled out National Meet 1, at that point of time we were debating and discussing how other departments should use the space data. Today our objective is a little different. A country which moved rockets in bicycle, today 9 places we are number 1 in the world, 9 places. And we have set target for at least 10 more places in another 2 to 3 years. And we are looking how to become number 1 in multiple places in the application. And also, we have to effectively use the space sector reform rolled out by Honorable Prime Minister. We have to effectively use the private sector to do a lot of activities. We must ensure our efforts remain aligned with national priorities from flood, food, water, environment and energy security to sustainable development, from disaster resilience to climate adaptation, and from smart governance to citizen service delivery. Greater adoption of space technology for achieving the sustainable development goals would offer a framework to guide our work and measure our impact. The success of National Meet 2 is a contribution of lot of people who are participating from here. Let me thank each and every one of you for your contribution, and really ISRO and the country is so privileged to have this meet. And surely with that type of contribution, we are going to contribute for making a dynamic, vibrant space sector in the country. By 2040, we will be in par with any other spacefaring nation in terms of rocket technology, in terms of satellite technology, in terms of application. And we are going to contribute for the Viksit Bharat 2047 to make India as a developed country, make Bharat as a developed country before we celebrate 100 years of independence. Let me thank Honorable Prime Minister who always say there should not be a space between space and common man of this country. Surely we are going to do that. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, sir, for that insightful presidential address and for tracing India's remarkable journey from the early days of remote sensing to today's 55 spacecrafts and its applications that empower development, strengthen governance, and ensure national resilience as we truly move towards Viksit Bharat 2047 with space technology at its core. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we now come to the much-awaited moment of this inaugural session, the moment of the inaugural address. And let me take a moment now to introduce our honorable chief guest, Dr. Saraswat. Dr. V.K. Saraswat is a scientist and strategist par excellence who has played a defining role in India's missile development program and contributed significantly to alternate energy research, silicon photonics technology, the methanol economy, and the National Supercomputing Mission. His career has been a blend of scientific excellence and visionary policy leadership. Sir, it is our privilege to welcome you once again, and may I request you to please deliver the inaugural address. Please welcome our chief guest, Honorable Member Niti Aayog, Dr. V.K. Saraswat.
Good morning, namaskar. My dear great friend and a colleague of very long time, Dr. Narayanan, presently the Chairman ISRO, Secretary DOS. Another good friend, Dr. Pawan Kumar Goenka. I call him from automobile to space, the Chairman in space today. All the distinguished secretaries to the central ministries and departments, chief secretaries of different states, director of all ISRO centers, and my colleagues from Department of Space and ISRO, senior officials from the ministries and the state governments, representatives from the industry, friends from media, ladies and gentlemen. It is my privilege and happiness to inaugurate the National Meet 2.0. In the august presence of the gathering that truly represents the expanse of India's space ecosystem. In fact, when I came in today and when I went to the exhibition, I was really overwhelmed. The kind of work that has been done, the kind of progress that India has made is really remarkable. And all of you have contributed so immensely, very nicely described by Dr. Narayanan, where we were in 1963 and where we are today, that we are leaping forward in the space arena in a big way. I recall the address of our Honorable Prime Minister to the ISRO DOS officials sometime in June 2014. It was publicized, if I remember, where he urged the Department of Space to engage proactively with the stakeholders to maximize the use of space technology for government and development. And I think guided by that vision, a National Meet 1.0 was organized in 2015, as mentioned by Dr. Narayan and also by Dr. Goenka. It brought together the full spectrum of the user governments organizations. The idea was simple, very transformative, to integrate space technologies into the core of the national administration. That particular meet accelerated the adoption of the space-based solutions across ministries. I remember from the early days of the SET experiment, where education was being imparted to the satellites, and we had borrowed those links, I remember. The rural areas we were doing. First time in those days we understood the importance of what space can do for propagating education and sending information to remotest corner in our country. Those initiatives touched the diverse sectors like agriculture, biodiversity, highways, railways, health, infrastructure, environmental conservation, disaster management, and climate response. More important than the numbers was the shift in attitude. Space technology can be recognized not as an optional supplement, but as a vital instrument of governance today. Ministries and state departments began embedding it into their regular workflows. Under the visionary leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister, country has witnessed transformation in governance and national systems over the past 11 years. It has led to foster openness, robustness, and transparency, ensuring progress for citizens and the nation. In the space sector, the most striking change has been the introduction of policies that expand industry participation. In fact, I recall first time, I think Mr. Kiran Kumar was the chairman at that time. To Niti Aayog, a request was sent that can we bring in certain changes in the Department of Space to ensure higher participation of the private sector. And a committee was there, and we almost sat for almost 3 to 4 months trying to work out how that can be done. But I think it went beyond that, and what we today see, the landmark reforms in the geospatial policy 2022, the Indian space policy 2023, and the establishment of InSpace have shifted the paradigm to a demand-driven partnership-based model. This reflects the global transition towards Space 4.0. I'll consider that. Characterized by new motivations, diverse actors, and advanced technologies, allowing private enterprises, academia, industry, and even citizens to contribute actively to the expanding space ecosystem. With its scientific talent, strong industrial base, and entrepreneurial spirit, India is well positioned to assume a larger role in the global arena. Very well described by Dr. Narayanan, that in 2047 or 2040, we will be number one in many, many other missions what the world has taken so far. The nation has created fertile ground for private and academic players to operate across value chain, from designing satellites to delivering advanced services. As of March 2025, and I think all credit should be given to Dr. Goenka for that, over 105 countries operate in space with 11,700 active satellites in orbit. 10 nations have orbital launch capability, while 14 companies now conduct regular launches. The global space economy, valued at about 510 billion, is projected to reach almost about 820 billion by 2032. India has already launched 433 foreign satellites, generating 292 million euros and $172 million in revenue. Our own space economy, currently worth about $8.4 billion, aims to expand its share of the global market from 2% to 8%. That is what we're talking about. An ambitious but achievable target if we sustain momentum through collaboration. The recent budget allocation of 13,416 crores for the year 25-26 underscores the government's commitments to this growth. India's capabilities in the Earth observation, satellite communication, and navigation have advanced significantly. Our policy framework encourages private leadership, enabling rapid development in 3 domains: space transportation, infrastructure, and applications. Startups like Skyroot Aerospace and Agnikul Cosmos are building launch systems. Pixel India and Dhruva Space are innovating in satellite technology. And firms such as Satshore, Vasundhara, and Digantra are turning data into powerful applications, from 3D mapping to deep learning and debris monitoring. Together, these enterprises reflect the country's strong momentum in private space innovation. Our long-term vision, which is Viksit Bharat 2047, demands that every tool be harnessed for national progress, with space technology as the key enabler. As we extend our reach into the orbit, the focus must remain on terrestrial benefits, addressing crucial areas like securing food, water, and energy resources, monitoring and protecting the environment and the ecosystem, building resilience against climate change and natural disasters, strengthening governance with transparency, accountability, and timely information, delivering services to citizens with efficiency and precision. Being from defense, certainly I would like to touch upon the role of space for defense. Space now plays a dual role in national security. Operation Sindoor, you have seen the kind of role space played in providing us the necessary information for our armed forces to take care of the targets in our enemy territory. It enhances the defense capabilities and simultaneously requires protection. It supports operations through ISR, secure communication, navigation, and missile defense. Yet satellites remain vulnerable to threats such as kinetic attacks, jamming, spoofing, cyber intrusions, and anti-satellite weapons. To counter these, nations must integrate space into defense strategies, build resilient systems, and develop indigenous technologies like small satellites, advanced sensors, and non-kinetic defense mechanisms. So, like space for defense, there's a requirement on us to talk of defense of space, because we have to take care of all our assets against whatever possible attacks can take place. India has responded with a significant initiative that strengthens national security while fostering indigenous innovation. This mission unites the armed forces with industry and startups. 75 specific challenges have been identified for private enterprises to address, grouped into 5 areas, like launch systems, satellite systems, communication and payload systems, ground systems, and software. This structured approach builds a foundation for defense space capabilities that are self-reliant. So globally, the new space era is defined by revolutionary trends. We are talking of constellations of small satellites, in-space manufacturing, and applications that integrate space data into IoT, automation, and governance. Space tourism is emerging as a new frontier, while concerns about orbital debris and traffic management are rising. In this evolving landscape, India seeks to lead by proposing an international alliance on space. This coalition would unite spacefaring and emerging nations to focus on areas of shared importance. Surveillance of space assets, satellite networks for economic growth, border security, tourism, debris mitigation, space mining, space-based energy, and legal framework for the future. To achieve this synergy across government, industry, academia, and startup is essential. Each brings unique strengths, policy direction, technical expertise, innovative agility, and domain insights. Together, they form an ecosystem that is both self-reliant and globally competitive. As we gather here, I urge participants to think beyond incremental improvements. Let us aim for bold, scalable, and sustainable solutions. Let us commit to translating the promise of space technology into measurable benefits for every citizen. I'm sure for the next 2 days you will be deliberating, but I think I leave you with 3 guiding thoughts for your consideration. First, think boldly. The challenges of climate change, disaster resilience, resource security, and urbanization require solutions that stretch the boundaries of our capability. Second one is collaborate deeply. Our future strength lies in partnership between government, industry, academia, and the communities. And third one is deliver inclusively. Technology must reach the last mile, serving every citizen, no matter how remote you are. With this vision, with some of these thoughts which came into my mind, I hereby declare the National Meet 2.0 open with a conviction that discussions here will shape the roadmap for a stronger, smarter, self-reliant Viksit Bharat. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
We thank you very much, sir, for your visionary inaugural address, capturing how India has leapt forward in the space arena, placing space technology as the key enabler of governance and progress, and marching confidently on the global stage. We cannot thank you enough, sir, for your gracious presence and the impactful address, and for inaugurating National Meet 2.0. And I now request Dr. V. Narayanan, Secretary, Department of Space, Chairman, Space Commission, and Chairman, ISRO, to kindly felicitate our Honorable Chief Guest with a shawl and a memento. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a huge, rousing round of applause for our chief guest, the Honorable Member Niti Aayog, Dr. V.K. Saraswat. Thank you very much, sir. And I request the dignitaries to please take their place on the dais once again for the word of thanks. And ladies and gentlemen, now to conclude this inaugural session, it is my privilege to invite Dr. Jayaprakash V. Thomas, Director EDPO at ISRO Headquarters, to deliver the word of thanks. Dr. Thomas has been a driving force behind the organization of National Meet 2.0, working tirelessly with his team to make this event possible. Sir, the stage is all yours. Let's have a huge round of applause for Dr. Jayaprakash V. Thomas.
Honorable Member Niti Aayog, Dr. V.K. Saraswat, Chairman ISRO, Secretary DOS, Dr. V. Narayan, Chairman InSpace, Dr. Pawan Kumar Goenka, Secretaries to the Central Ministries and Departments, Chief Secretaries of States, Directors of all ISRO centers and colleagues from ISRO DOS, senior officials from ministries and state governments, representatives from industry, friends from media, ladies and gentlemen. It's both an honor and privilege to stand before you today to deliver the vote of thanks at this inaugural session of National Meet 2.0. At the outset, on behalf of the Department of Space and the entire ISRO DOS community, I express our deepest gratitude to the Honorable Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi, for his visionary guidance in conceptualizing the national meet. His call for harnessing the space technology for governance and societal development has been the foundation of our collective journey. Our sincere thanks to the Cabinet Secretary to the Government of India, whose instrumental role in shaping and steering National Meet 2.0 has ensured its impactful and outreach and outcome. We also extend our gratitude to the Principal Secretary to the Prime Minister for his constant engagement in this endeavor, who has consented to participate in the concluding session today. We are deeply grateful to Dr. V.K. Saraswat, Member Niti Aayog, and our guest of honor today for his steadfast support and inspiring words that continue to encourage the space fraternity. Thank you, sir, for taking out time from gracing this occasion in your busy schedule. A heartfelt thanks to Dr. V. Narayan, Secretary, Department of Space, Chairman, Space Commission, and Chairman, ISRO, for his exemplary leadership, invaluable guidance, and clear directions in steering the National Meet 2.0 towards its objectives. Without his constant guidance and motivation, it would have been impossible to realize National Meet in such a short time. We gratefully acknowledge the support and encouragement of Dr. Pawan Kumar Goenka, Chairman InSpace, whose efforts to foster industry participation are clearly reflected in the overwhelming response from the private sector in this national meet. This event would not have taken shape without the active involvement of the secretaries and senior leadership from all central ministries, the chief secretaries of all states, and the senior officials from both central and state governments, whose proactive engagement has been instrumental in making this initiative impactful and successful. Our deepest gratitude also goes to the directors of all ISRO DOS centers for their valuable guidance unstinting support, and continued contributions to the cause. A special note of appreciation is reserved for the scientific community of ISRO, whose dedication and hard work of the last 3 months form the backbone of our success and achievements. Thanks is also due to our organizing team, whose untiring commitment, meticulous planning, and flawless execution have made the National Meet 2.0 a reality. We also acknowledge the wholehearted contributions of officials from InSpace and NCEL, whose collaborative spirit has enriched this collective outcome. Lastly, my gratitude to each one of you present here today for your active participation and support. Your continued collaboration will be the driving force in translating our shared vision into tangible benefits for the nation. Thank you one and all.
Our sincere thanks to Dr. Thomas for those thoughtful acknowledgements and for so warmly delivering the vote of thanks. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we once again express our gratitude to our chief guest, Honorable Member Niti Aayog, Dr. V.K. Saraswat. Thank you very much, sir. We thank the eminent dignitaries gracing the dais. And ladies and gentlemen, the dignitaries will leave this room first. Thereafter, we will all disband. So I request you to please remain seated. Let's give a huge round of applause to the dignitaries once again gracing the dais. Thank you very much to our chief guest for inaugurating National Meet 2.0. Thank you, sir. We do need a photo opportunity. The photographers seek a group photo opportunity of the three of you. Please step ahead of the dais and give us one. I also request the respected secretaries to also leave along with our honorable dignitaries. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I have some quick announcements before we go, and those are very important. As we formally conclude inaugural session of National Meet 2.0, ladies and gentlemen, after a very short break, we will proceed with the breakout sessions where ministries, departments, states, union territories, and ISRO teams will present the outcomes of their joint deliberations. And there will be 10 such sessions in all. 5 sessions will take place before lunch and 5 will take place